They're actually convinced it's intellectual. So I got dumped last night. Not really, I just wanted to continue that theme, see how it feels, get that artificial pity.
How does it feel?
Worse than actually getting dumped. But I do want to thank Gab, John, and the rest for having me here tonight. It's actually been a very long while since I have presented any of my earlier work. I've been very reluctant, despite its popularity, despite the constant implorations from my worldwide fan base. But I think that tonight is a really good cause, and it's about time that I bring back some of my more popular earlier work, even though, by comparison, my what I'm currently working on may suffer. And if the revolution does come, it's pretty safe to say that John's Rhode Island X is probably behind it. Literally behind it, giving it a Samoan Mormon. So I'd like to start tonight with an earlier piece that you might remember from 1991. My first published piece, actually, auspiciously entitled "The Awesomest Thing in the World." My Nintendo is hard, gray, small, and smooth. I have 23 games, 7 of them are my brother's. My brother has Gauntlet 2, Double Dragon 3, Shadowgate, Rad Racer, Karate Kid, Iron Sword, and a Stynax. My brother and I own one, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The other ones are Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, Gauntlet, Dr. Mario, TMNT 2, Tetris, Mega Man 2, Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior,
yeah!
RC Pro-Am, Legend of Zelda 1 and 2,
Yes!
Duck Hunt,
Yes!
and Marble Madness. All of them are fun. I love my Nintendo. Thank you. It wasn't long before that early in my career, I actually tired very quickly and very easily of the constraints of nonfiction writing. I was critically panned for my first foray into the fiction realm for the experimental qualities I was working with. And it was over a year later, not until June of 1992, that I was published again. This is one of my earliest published fiction pieces entitled, I'm sorry, I forgot. I don't wear glasses. Jack and his twin sister, Jamie, overslept this morning. They were going to Ontario, Canada, for 2 weeks because it was their 10th birthday. They threw off their bedspreads. Then they got dressed and ate breakfast. Next, Jack and Jamie found someone to watch their pets. Last, they packed their suitcases and fixed their hair. Jack and Jamie got a pair of warm gloves from the dresser and 2 woolen jackets from the closet.
And a blanket.
Then, they stacked the suitcases in the trunk of their car. Then they were off and driving. Thank you. I've chosen this writing because I felt it expressed my imagination. I used vivid vocabulary. My plot is well-based. I don't know what that means. And the sequencing in the story was clear, coherent, and easy to read. I was critically lauded for my pastoral return to form entitled The Zoo. A loud bang awoke Chipper the squirrel one morning. What could that be? Chipper wondered. As Chipper dashed from his home, he saw an amazing sight. It was a lumberjack cutting down Chipper's home. Chipper came out and yelled, "Hey, stop it." Wow, a talking squirrel, I could turn him into the zoo and make millions. I can retire. He was ecstatic. "Hey, squirrel." "Hey, squirrel, I have a proposition for you. If you let me hand you into the zoo, I'll retire as a lumberjack." "I'll sleep on it," Chipper compromised. The lumberjack knocked on Chipper's door and asked, "Squirrel, what's the verdict?" "Yes," Chipper answered. "I've called the zoo and called the movers. It was a happy ending for all. The lumberjack could retire because he was rich. The forest animals' homes would be saved. The zoo acquired a new animal, and Chipper enjoyed his new home and the publicity that he was getting." Thank you. I will be cutting tonight's presentation short. If you do have any questions and answers, I will be staying afterwards for some coffee and hash, which will actually make your questions tolerable. So I only have two left. My two most popular stories, very well regarded at the time, very influential, and due to being mentioned in a Michael Chabon interview recently as one of his primary influences, I feel that these two stories really still have stood the test of time. It wasn't until 2 years later, after my well-publicized nervous breakdown in '93, that I was able to pick the pen back up. That's not funny. Show of hands, nervous breakdowns. I meant tonight. Who's actually right now having a nervous breakdown?
That's good. My legs asleep.
Don't they hate when that happens? It'll be up all night. Is there a "that joke stolen" button on that, John? Well, this is a very short urban drama that you probably remember, but for the first time ever, I'm presenting it in its original uncut form. The story of the brick building. This is a story about a banana named Francois. He had a friend who was a cow, and he was named Johnny. Francois and Johnny were in the rubber toe business together. One day, a box and an astronaut pen arrived for Francois. Could this be the clock I ordered? He wondered. He quickly tore open the box. There was no clock, only a note which read, "In order to receive the clock, you, Francois the banana, must jump up and down 10 times and chant, 'Mickey, Mickey, wahoo!'" Francois did just that, and lo and behold, the clock appeared. "What a joyous day," he shouted. "Here's the clock I've been waiting 6 to 8 weeks for." Johnny walked in and asked, "What's going on?" Francois told him. "The clock and free astronaut pen came." "All right, let's eat them," Johnny suggested. "Sounds good to me," Francois agreed. Thank you. I will be ending with this story, easily my best-known work. Actually included in the Best of the Decade for the '90s, one of Dave Eggers' early compilations. You can actually find that in the Carnegie Library network. Just give me some money. This is a classic tale of conflicting cultures, of misunderstanding, really taking a forward-thinking approach. It's more than anything a plea for peace. And right now in this new year, it's important to get that very firmly established. And if you can, keep it down during the story. Hold your applause. Happy Face Thing visits Earth. It all started when Happy Face Thing, an immortal from Washu Duya, an out-of-the-way dimension, came. It did not know the ways of Earth. It literally ate knuckle sandwiches. One time it tried to eat the president's knuckles, but it was shot 30 times in the head by the Secret Service. Everyone thought it was dead, so they celebrated. It sprang up because there was a party, but the Secret Service shot it down again. As if by reflex, it sprang up and started to dance. What nobody knew is that the disco suit that Happy Face Thing wore was magical. And every time there's a party, anywhere in the world, it'll come back alive if it's dead. The Secret Service commended it for surviving and for its good dancing skills. One agent was jealous, so he took a lead pipe and bashed Happy Face Thing in the knees so it couldn't dance. 10 years later, Happy Face Thing tracked down its attacker and killed him with a knife. The police got suspicious, so Happy Face Thing ate the knife. The police suspected suicide since there was no weapon found with fingerprints on it. Happy Face Thing went back to its planet and lived. Or will he? Thank you. That'll be next time for this call.
Give it up for Professor Ian, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, it's just a reflex when people are cheering. I just...
Nice job, Professor Ian. Ladies and gentlemen, the musical portion of the festivities is about to begin. You should know that coming up just a little bit later, we have a dance battle between Mrs. Palfrey and Gab. Also, the fantastic musical act, sometimes known for their anti-bullying songs, Josh and Gab, of the Josh and Gab Show.